In 3, 2, 1.
I know, you see. Somehow the world is gonna change for me.
Just like that, we already have a strike. Well,
Copyright.
Good morning, Warriors. We are back. I know. I can't believe it either. I didn't think it would happen for a while.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, we stopped this thing
Yeah, we did.
midway through season 2.
Yeah.
And
that's so true. We didn't finish
right,
season 2.
because of things that we will get into. We will obviously give an update over what's happened.
We broke up.
Was that it? That's part of it. Kind of.
Yeah.
We'll get into what happened. That's kind of it. But the point is, we're back. We're getting ready for season 3. This is officially episode 1, and it's going to be loose. We didn't do a lot of preparation for this.
No, we did not.
She did none.
I usually do.
She usually does
Bible stuff.
most of it. You usually do a lot of it. I did some. I just wanted to get on here. We got to get our feet wet again. We got to get used to talking again. We got to get dusted off.
That's true.
I'm glad I said that, because that is actually going to be the theme for season 3. And if you saw the title, you know what I'm talking about. This episode and this season will be called Shake Off the Dust. Why is it called that?
Oh, why is it called that?
I'm glad
Michael?
you asked, Anna. It's because that's what we're going to be talking about, is why it was called that. We're going to be talking about things that revolve around dust. Dust is a good metaphor in the Bible. I think it's a good metaphor in life. We're going to be saying things like for example, we're actually literally shaking the dust off of this podcast.
Yeah, so true.
Haven't touched it, haven't thought about it in about a year, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
Taking that, blowing it, shaking the dust off your Bible, which we have right here.
Which also got a little dusty.
It is a little dusty, this one specifically. Dealing with the fact that, we're all made out of dust, right? To dust you were born, to dust you shall return. Mortality, death, all that stuff. Things like maybe you've neglected, like how to keep dust out of your relationship.
Okay.
How to keep, maybe you've have dust on your healthy habits. You're not doing the right things. All right, you need to take a look at that. Basically, I'm gonna find a way to make this relate into everything we're talking about
Today.
Not today.
Oh, for the season.
In the season.
For the season.
Today, I'm glad you said that. All we're gonna be talking about is life update is major thing, and we'll be sharing where we feel we've neglected God
in our lives.
Recently, and how and kind of get a gauge of
where we're at. And then, asking you guys to do the same with us, because it's been a while. It has. Since we've all talked together. And people listen to this. That's one of the biggest things. That's one of the biggest things I learned when we stopped. I didn't know people actually. We got people asking us where it was, and I was shocked. I thought it was just us and our moms.
I did too.
But apparently it's not. So thank you.
So we really do appreciate you guys listening, and hopefully we can keep improving. And let's just get into it, dude. Are you ready?
Into it.
So before we get into it, obviously, first life update is.
We got married we got engaged and married all within 3 months, 3 months.
Very quickly.
Happened super quick. We had just broken up, actually.
Yeah, suspiciously quick, I'd say. I think, it's funny because I didn't realize what that kind of looked like, because we were engaged and rushing, and we got married within 3 months.
Yeah.
Kind of looked like
I was pregnant.
You were a little pregnant, but it wasn't. That wasn't it. I wasn't even thinking that.
No, we weren't.
We were just eager.
Yeah, people were just kind of like, you're doing it kind of quick.
Yeah.
We were like, I know, but we just wanted to live with each other already, and we missed each other. We were in 2 different cities.
2 different cities. That's hard.
We just missed each other.
So let's back up a little bit. Let's give some clarification. Why did we stop doing this? You kind of alluded to it a little bit. A lot of things happened.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I guess we'll go ahead and talk about is the fact that
we broke up.
We broke up for a little bit.
For a week.
Wasn't that long?
For a week.
No.
No.
But I mean, what? You can't just start the podcast back up after that.
No, yeah.
You need some time.
We broke up and then we got married, so.
Yeah.
And then we've just been enjoying married life for about a year.
Yeah.
We have our 1 year coming up in October.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that. We've been officially married for one... By the time this episode drops, it'll probably be 1 year.
Yeah.
October 2nd.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
How do you feel?
I feel good. Yeah. Let's talk about the breakup more.
Okay, yeah, you're right. That's way juicier.
That's where the tea. Right. That's where the drama is. That's why you guys are here. Let's be real. So we broke up. Michael says he broke up with me. I say it was mutual.
Depends on how you look at it.
Depends on how you...
Did I say it? Yes, I did say it.
No, I said it first.
Well, you encouraged it.
I said, I think we should break up. Do you think that? And he said, yes, please, God, yes. And I said, okay. Yeah. And then his sister Bianca, bless her heart, was just like sitting there.
I totally forgot. She was sitting there through the whole thing.
She was just sitting there.
I forgot about that. That's got to be so uncomfortable.
Yeah, so we broke up for like a week.
Well, the reason being, let's talk about why. Go
ahead, speak on that.
It was... It actually happened. The place that it happened. The reason my sister was there was because we were at a resort. Yeah, it's about as bad. It reminded me of those sitcoms that have the love interest. Yeah. And this is like the last episode.
The to be continued episode.
To be continued because they're at some kind of event like a wedding or something, and I was at a job convention.
Yeah, for the loan business.
For the business that my family's own. My family owns.
And I went because I was invited.
Yeah, because we were in a committed relationship.
We'd been dating for 2 years at that point?
Long time, very long time. Yeah. So you're there. I'm there. My family's there. We're in like Houston. No, we're not in Houston.
Yeah.
Was it Houston?
Yeah.
We're like in Houston.
We're in Houston by Conroe.
That's Conroe what it was. Area. It was actually Conroe. You're right.
And we had been in a funk for, I want to say, 6 months. I'm not gonna lie. It was a while.
And I will say,
while.
The reason we stopped this podcast, the reason I said why it wasn't completely that was because I think at this point we had already stopped.
Yeah, we were in a funk.
But it started because we were in a funk.
Yeah.
We weren't really talking. We were kind of just existing. There was no way we're going to do a podcast.
We were kind of passive with each other.
Very passive. Nobody's like arguing.
No, we just didn't care, which is bad. Worse.
That's even worse.
One of us wanted to see what single life was. One of us forgot what that was like and just didn't know.
It's been 2 years.
We won't say who. There's
only two of us in this situation.
We're not going to speak on that person, but one of us was just like, I'm not sure if I want to be like in a relationship. I kind of just want to see what's out there. Yeah. And the other one of us was like, that's mean.
Yeah.
And then we broke up.
And that was crazy. And it really was, it was sad.
It was sad. It was
very sad. Even, I'm the one that I really did. I'm the one that wanted to see the single life.
Yeah.
I'll just throw it out there.
Okay, I guess since he came out.
Yeah. And
canceled.
I haven't even started yet. Can't cancel me yet. But yeah, it was crazy because I wanted to see, and I think I did for a while. And after that, we kind of just coexisted.
Yeah, we did.
And there was
some tension. Because one of us didn't care about the other one's feelings anymore.
I was
a little bit of a boundary pusher.
I was kind of mean. I was wrong in this sense because I didn't know how to say it.
Yeah.
I should have said it earlier. Because breaking up is breaking up.
Yeah.
I should have said it earlier.
Yeah. It almost felt, and we've talked about it extensively. Obviously, we've been married for a year now. We're all good.
Yeah, now
we've
fine.
Worked it out, but it was almost kind of like he wanted to push me to a breaking point to break up instead of saying, "Hey, I want to break up."
In my defense, I'm very non-confrontational.
Yeah.
I did. You're right.
Yeah,
I'm not proud of it. It's not good.
It's okay. I mean, we're over it.
But I did. I wanted you to do it.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to say it.
Yeah. So he was just pushing a lot of boundaries. And so then eventually I was like, okay, well, do you think we should break up?
Yeah.
And it was. He said, yeah, finally, you got the hint. And we broke up.
I didn't say that for the record.
We broke up for like a week. It was super awkward because he drove me home because we're at a resort. And so we had like a 2-hour-long car ride back.
Horrible.
And I was just crying.
Silently crying in my passenger seat.
Yeah.
I'm also upset too. Like, I loved you. I still love you. So
true.
That's also why it was hard.
Yeah, it was hard.
Because for my side of things, I wasn't sure if I wanted to get married yet because that was the next step.
Yeah.
We weren't just going to keep dating forever. It'd been 2 years. It's kind of, that was the next step, and it scared me away. It did. You didn't scare me away. The thought of it scared me away.
Yeah. Yeah, so we got back together, and then we dated for 2 weeks, and then he proposed to me.
That's kind of nuts.
I know. Now that I'm kind of reliving it, it is kind of nuts. So we got back together, dated for 2 weeks, got engaged.
Why did nobody object to that?
Because we had been together for a while.
I guess that's true. And it was only a week-long breakup. And then, we never, we nothing much happened in between that.
Yeah.
And then, so we got back together. And it was it wasn't that hard, I guess I'm trying to say. It wasn't
hard.
we were trying to, it wasn't we got out and then got in another relationship.
Yeah.
It was
just a week.
It was just a week. You did do a lot in that week, though.
You did a lot in that week, too, buddy.
We both did a lot.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We dipped our toes
into
what it would be like to be with other people.
Exactly.
But we got, we're over it. We kind of worked through that.
I'll say I was the first one to say I was wrong.
That's true.
And I came back and I said, please
he said sorry, and he brought me flowers. He said, please get back together with me.
I took you flowers. I took you out.
Yeah.
I drove to Houston a lot.
Yeah.
The next coming weeks.
Because, you had to make up for it.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we got, engaged.
And then we got engaged.
But then we're in 2 different cities.
Yeah,
engaged.
and we're engaged, and we're
and we're feeling better, and we're in love.
We're in love. We're we're gonna get married anyway. Let's just get married.
Let's just do it.
And what was supposed to be just us and our parents turned. I mean, it was still a small wedding.
It did,
but it was supposed to be.
It was still very small. Yeah.
It was supposed to be just his parents, my parents. But Mexican families are so big, and so my aunts tagged along. Some of my cousins.
Yeah, my aunt came too.
Grandparents.
Everybody decided to come. But it was good. We all still fit in the backyard.
Yeah, it was a small backyard wedding. No more than 25 people.
And I will say I loved our wedding.
Oh my gosh,
it was absolutely
amazing.
Beautiful. It was.
Maybe you can put some pictures.
Yeah.
Go ahead and put some pictures. Look at the pictures.
We'll put some pictures on the screen.
I mean, it was great.
It was amazing.
It was amazing. It was a perfect wedding. And we talked about maybe the plan was we were going to do a small wedding and then a bigger wedding later. We just wanted to be married.
Yes.
Which is still the plan. But we loved our little wedding so much that we're thinking 5-year renewal.
Oh, yeah, that's what
something
it is.
Like
that's the plan. Is
just because we actually really enjoyed our little wedding.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Oh, that was the wedding.
Yeah, that was the wedding.
But in 5 years, maybe we'll
spice it up. A little something for our friends.
Yeah. Yeah, that did. Yeah, exactly.
Who didn't get to make it.
And family. Because a lot of family was left up, for sure.
Oh, my gosh. The cuts were brutal. Brutal. Sorry for anybody who couldn't, It was brutal. We had limited seating. It was just supposed to be a backyard thing. And I felt bad because I'm so close with everybody in my family, but...
Yeah. It was rough.
It was rough.
Oh.
But, yeah, we got married.
Point is, we did it. How are you feeling now?
A year into marriage?
A year into marriage.
Feeling great.
I feel like we're very strong. What do you think?
I think we're very strong, too.
Yeah, I think so.
We get in tiffs, right? We fight. We're normal people, but it's not like...
No, it's not like back then. Is that what you're trying to say? Because when you think about that, I guess when I think back to that time, it was...
brutal.
It was really... and I didn't really notice how checked out I'd gotten until now. When I'm fully invested and you're fully invested, and it's a beautiful thing. I will say marriage did change that for us. And for me, I will speak for me. I was scared of it. When I did it, there was no looking back. I don't regret it, obviously. And I don't know. I feel like it was a great decision. I love you.
I love you too.
And I think we're very strong now.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Marriage is fun.
Yeah, and we're gonna have like a whole episode on that, so I don't want to say too
have
much.
a whole episode.
Yeah. We'll get into the nitty gritty of what we've learned, some of our challenges.
We have a lot of challenges.
Some of the upsides. I think a lot of upsides and stuff.
More upsides than challenges.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If you're on the fence about getting married, just get married.
Yeah, yeah. You think so? That's some strong advice.
Or you know what? Just break up for a week and then decide if you want to get married.
Then see where you are. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that.
Okay.
So that was the drama. That was the tea of why we stopped. Now we're back. Year into marriage. Other things have changed.
Yeah.
For example,
we're having a baby.
No. Can't throw it. You're gonna get people too excited.
No.
Specifically, my mom.
We're not having a baby. I'm so sorry.
My mom is gonna get too excited.
We're not having a baby yet.
Yet is true. It is what we do want a baby. We do want a baby, but not yet. And one of the reasons why is because we have a few career changes here.
What?
Number one, should we start with me or should we start with you?
Well, mine's more boring than yours, so I'll do mine.
I don't think yours is boring.
I'll do mine. I am a preschool teacher. Woo! I love it.
Come on, that's not boring. Like you just described your day to today.
Today was specifically brutal. I'm like exhausted because today was so brutal.
And you're still here, and I appreciate you doing this for us.
Thank you. I am so tired though.
Yeah.
We kind of got into a tiff because I was actually so tired. And like when I get really tired, I'm usually pretty bubbly. So when I'm really tired, I'm like, ew. Everything.
Which is fine. I think the reason I didn't want, because this is our first episode back. Yeah. I also felt bad.
Yeah.
I didn't want to make you come on here.
Yeah, for sure. But I wanted to do it. Yeah. I wanted to do it. I was just tired. And I'm a little dramatic when I get tired. Okay. But you're dramatic when you get hungry.
That's true. That's our things. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know you're just tired. And I do. Because I appreciate you coming on.
But it's great. Being a preschool teacher is great. The kids are great.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
What's your favorite thing about...
My favorite kid?
But that's not what I was going to say.
I don't have favorites.
I'm
okay,
sure.
Keep going.
What's your favorite, like, I don't know, aspect of the job? I know it's probably the kids, but what specifically?
My favorite thing is when, I have a couple.
Mm-hmm.
One of my first favorite things is, beginning of it, if anybody has a child, especially in preschool, that drop-offs are like a whole thing. They're crying, they're freaking out. My favorite thing ever is the first drop-off when they stop freaking out. And they come in and they go, Miss Anna. And they and I'm sorry, parents, but they're not even paying attention to the parent because they're so excited. They're so ready. Yeah. That's one of my favorite things.
That's awesome.
Ever.
That is amazing.
Another favorite thing is when your kids move up to the next grade, right? Mm-hmm. And they see you in the hallway and their teacher's there. They go, Miss Anna, Miss Anna.
Yeah.
I miss you so much. Oh my gosh.
That is
breaks
amazing.
Your heart because you want them back in your class.
Right.
Yeah.
That is sweet though. That's sweet that they remember you.
Oh, they do. There's so many great things, honestly. I could go on forever.
See, that's amazing. It's not boring. You love your job, you love your work, and you're really good at it, is what I hear.
I am actually really good at it.
You're really good at it. This is not your first preschool, so yeah, that's true. I guess since you've done a couple of them since we stopped the podcast.
Yeah,
you've done three since we stopped.
Well, I think I was doing Stepping Stone while I was
during it. Okay. Yeah.
I was Stepping Stone.
I'm trying to remember.
Then Love and Learning, and then now Ivy Brook. And Ivy Brook has been my favorite preschool so far.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay, my turn. I also had a career change. I don't remember what I was doing.
I think you were a musician / DoorDasher.
I was a musician. I was a starving musician.
Oh, we were starving. We were
DoorDasher.
In the gutter starving.
/ kind of DR loans.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of doing whatever we could to get money.
To get by.
Now, I am officially taking those two off. Just a full-time musician.
A not starving full-time musician, might I add.
Not starving full-time musician.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
It's awesome.
It's like a huge life goal I've always wanted to work towards.
We can sustain ourselves with Michael just being a musician.
Which is crazy.
That's how great it's going.
That's insanity.
Yeah, it is.
That's insane.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I mean, geez. So yeah, that's kind of like the biggest thing. And so now what I love is that your schedule, you get off before 1.
Yeah.
And I only work on the, most weekends. Thursday through Sunday is kind of my block.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just work at night.
Yeah, we get to spend time together.
Spend a lot of time together.
Which was a problem, actually, before we broke up. Because I worked Monday through Friday from, like, 8 to 6 p.m. And he was, like, gone. Anything he could do, he would be gone.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So we barely saw
each other because I was already at a gig by 6.
And the times that we did see each other, we were so exhausted that we were like, don't talk to me. I need alone time.
It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
But now it's better.
So much better.
Mm-hmm.
It actually is. It's crazy. But, yeah, really excited about that. Really excited. Yeah, just going to keep doing it. And
it's great.
That's great. And we're planning to, try to move and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Move and all of that is made possible because of both of us finally, getting some pretty good jobs. And yours is good as well. For the hours you work especially, it's pretty incredible. So yes, we're back. This is a lot of reason why. Also, we have a lot more free time.
True.
We're not as stressed.
True.
We're not broken up.
That's true.
So we're back.
We're not passive-aggressively fighting.
Exactly. We're not passive-aggressively fighting. I thought we were before the podcast, but it turns out you were just tired. I was
just tired.
Which is another thing we've learned how to do is talk, communicate, not just assume.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's helpful.
Mm-hmm. That one's hard, though.
That one does, obviously, yeah. It does get pretty hard.
But it is helpful.
Very helpful. And I think, yeah. But now that we're back, we do have a lot of stories during those rough times that we could probably go through.
So true.
Yeah. Last thing, before we move on to kind of the other topic, which is talking about the religious aspect of where we are.
Oh, snap.
Is just wanted to quickly ask because, well, not ask, but
Okay.
Another update is that we're not in college anymore.
No, we're not. We started this as college students.
And I just wanted to point that out because we started this as, like you just literally said. I won't reiterate that. But since we started that in college, I don't know. It's weird because I kind of thought like, that's kind of all it was going to be, just for when we were in college. But it's like you get out of that and now we have so many new topics to talk about.
That's true.
Different perspectives, different problems for sure.
Mm-hmm.
In different, areas of life.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
So let us keep going. Let's get into the good stuff. Why you come in the first place. Obviously, hearing about our relationship issues is a plus when we have them.
It's
I'm
good
sure.
Tea, yeah.
It definitely is intriguing, I think.
Tea is tea.
But the point of this podcast is for the Word of God to
Not
be
tea.
Talked about. So let's do it. How are you doing with that? Where are you as far as where is God in your life right now?
That's a good question. You want to answer that?
I mean, I asked it. I'll answer after you answer.
Okay. I guess my answer is, and it's kind of a bad answer, but I'm definitely like not as close as I used to be. It's just, I was atheist for like 7 years, and it's so easy for me to switch back into that mindset. We talk about it all the time, but I'm just like, what can I say? I was atheist for a really long time.
Right.
Super long.
You were. Very long time.
It's so hard. I mean, it's so hard, this might sound crazy to some, but to continue to believe in God sometimes. It's hard for me.
Yeah, that's not crazy.
Thank you.
That's what you feel.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Why do you think that is?
Okay.
Leads me to my next question.
Again, I was atheist for a really long time.
Yeah. But what I guess
I'm going.
Oh, sorry. So you're gonna
atheist for a really long time, and so during that time, I did a bunch of research, and I had set in stone my beliefs, what I believed, what I thought happened, what I didn't think happened. I had come to so many terms that I had just accepted that afterlife there's nothing, like
right.
death turns into nothing. And I talked to Michael about this, and he's like, that is so scary. How could you believe that? And I'm just saying, like, I believe that so strongly that I had overcame that fear. And I was just like, I've just accepted, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it took me a long time to accept full atheism. And then when I did, I just, like, I studied and reinforced that. And sometimes it's hard for me to be like I'll be at church and I'll hear what they're saying. And I'm like, in my head, my atheist brain is like, not true, not true.
Right. That's so fascinating, though. I think that's a really good, like, I'd say perspective, especially because, like, I only know the perspective of somebody who grew up in Christianity, which you did too.
Yeah, I did.
But I never deviated.
But I faked it for, like, the last 7 years.
For a long time. Right, but you were admittedly atheist for 7 years.
Yeah.
I've never been anything but a Christian. Even when I was questioning, I didn't jump ship. I just had questions, and I didn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I can totally see, and the other side of that is, like, I feel like I have such solidified beliefs in Christianity that when those issues do come up and other people tell me things, I have that's not true, that's not true, that's not true. But for the other side, because those are my solidified beliefs, is in the Bible.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
So interesting.
Yeah. And you know, I'll say, like, that was, it can be, I know why you're hesitant to say it is because it can be seen as kind of
horrible, bad. You're just not
trying hard enough. You're not
trying hard enough.
Right. And we
take the leap of faith.
And I've seen you. You try. You give your all, and I do believe that you believe. But I know that it's hard. It's a hard road. It is a hard road. That's also why we have this podcast, because we know we're not the only ones that have these issues. There's somebody out there who listened to what you said and was like, yes, that is me.
Yeah.
Somebody who listens to what I say and says, yeah, that is me. Right? Mm-hmm. So to answer that question from my end, where God fits in my life is, I would say I have not done as well in keeping up with it. And I think I know why. It's mainly because the one thing I fall victim to, and it's not the first time, probably won't be the last, but is that when life is good, life is great, and I don't even think about it sometimes. Yeah. You know, I'll go through long stretches of great, and then I'm good.
Yeah.
What do you know what I mean?
We have been great for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Very long time. Like I said, it's hard to you know, keep it going. But so yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember, and I don't get like cocky or anything. It sounds like that, but like I just don't even think about it, which is weird. Like, you know, so that's where I struggle. I have to remember that you don't just call on God for the bad times, right?
True.
You need to call on him for the good times as well, and you need to give him thanks for the good times. And you know, life's up and down, but this relationship with God should be forever, should be no matter what. Should, you know, and for me, it's easier to believe in him when things are at the lowest than it is when things are at the highest, which is also, you know, I have a lot of pride.
That's crazy.
And ego. Yeah.
I feel like for me that's flipped.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's harder for me to believe in God when I'm at my lowest.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, that's messed up.
Yeah. What's going on? Right? Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Huh. I never realized that.
I know. Isn't that funny?
Wow. There you go. It's, but it's important that you identify that so you can work on it. Same for me. Same for anybody listening.
Because for me, when things are going great, I'm like, that's what's up, God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 And then on the flip side, I'm probably just like, man, I did a cool thing right there.
There's nothing to do with you, God.
That was amazing by me. Crazy. So what I'm doing to work on that, and I'm going to go ahead and skip to, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and skip this. I'm going to go to Deuteronomy because we need to read some Bible here, you know? We got to...
Some Bible.
Gotta read some Bible.
lay down.
And for the record, these other episodes will be more
biblical.
Biblical and more like in the Word and trying to study. Yeah. But we're just trying to get you caught up where we are, what our goals are with this, what we're trying to do, and we will get to that in a second. But let me go ahead, and if you're going to read along, go ahead. We're going to be in Deuteronomy 32, verses 15 through 18. I'm going to read that because it ties into what I kind of was saying there. Okay. Oh, I don't know how you say that. What? But Jeshurun. But Jeshurun grew fat and kicked.
Slay.
You grew fat. You grew thick. You are obese. Then he forsook God who made him and scornfully esteemed the rock of his salvation. They provoked him to jealousy with foreign gods, with abominations. They provoked him to anger. They sacrificed to demons, not to God, to gods they did not know, to new gods, new arrivals that your father did not fear. Of the rock who begot you, you are unmindful and have forgotten the God who fathered you.
That is Deuteronomy.
That is what's up. So what I think is interesting is we have this Bible here, and it has like, I don't remember if we did this last season or anything, but there has like the little cliff notes here.
Yeah, I think we did.
We did, yeah. It's like my favorite part because like you can read that and you'd be like, okay, wow, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Because there's so many interesting words that I barely know how to pronounce.
Yeah.
So we go into the bottom, and it says this. I'll just read some of it. Looking into the future, Moses saw a time when Israel would rebel against the Lord and break the covenant, when they became fat and thick, with all the blessings of the land. They would attribute their prosperity to the foreign gods, abandoning the God who made them and the rock of their salvation.
Like you.
Like me. So that's why I brought it up, because
you're Deuteronomy.
I guess so, in a simple sense. It's easy to fall into that is kind of the point here.
Yeah.
At least the reason I bring it up, because the point here in the Bible is that Moses saw, again, into the future, he saw that this would happen and that they would kind of, forget about God once everything was good. Yeah. It happens a lot. I think a lot of people do that. And what I think is interesting is like in here, they literally sacrifice stuff to like new gods and, they made up things. And I think about how can we apply that to like today? Mm-hmm. And I think it's like, it could be self. Like, maybe you're going through something. God is your God. You get better. Things are going good. Now you put yourself on that pedestal.
Is that you?
Now, sometimes. Mm-hmm. It can also be other things. Like, for me, sometimes it's music. For those, it could be their craft that they're working on. For those, it could be their job. Now, all of a sudden, you have this, like, false God in the place of God because you're doing so great. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, that doesn't last. Mm-hmm. And especially, like, even for us, this last month has been wild.
Oh, my gosh. But I will say, even this month has been insane, and I will say the word suffered through a lot of things, because, man, we've still been good, and we would definitely not count this as, like, the worst.
No, absolutely not.
Month of the year.
No. I
don't think. But so far we've had a pretty good year, even with the turbulence.
Oh yeah, overall. But I will say this, because we had like problem after problem after problem.
After problem.
And the one thing it did do was slow down some of our plans as far as moving.
Oh yeah.
And slow down some anniversary plans and stuff like that. Some kind of so it's like I agree with you in the sense of we're not homeless. There's we're okay. But it did show me, at the very least, I was like, oh, okay.
Life can be sucky.
I can't do this on my own. That's right. Mm-hmm. Because I don't know what to do in these situations.
Oh, my goodness. We did not know what to do.
Yeah, and it reminded me, too, about, like, it was kind of like, it was humbling, I guess I'll say.
Oh, my, yeah, it was.
Very humbling, because I thought with the new, with the new career doing well and stuff, I was like, oh, I'll be good for a while.
I mean, we were doing good.
And I was like, no, never mind.
We were doing good.
I realized we have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
So I think that was interesting. I feel like that's kind of where I'm at, or kind of where I was, but now that I recognize it, I don't want to be there anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do everything I can to not be there in the future. So yeah, I know you didn't have. Again, I didn't tell you to prepare, so I know you don't have a verse. But
I don't have a verse.
I think with you, it's
what.
I can't think of anything that like relates to it, but it is very interesting. With when you go through things, you feel like God isn't there and stuff. But yeah, I guess I don't know if you want to say anything else on that.
I mean, I just think it's funny that it's the opposite for me.
That is pretty funny.
I will say though, I think it stems from just some of my life events being so traumatic.
Sure.
That it feels like God's not there. And so now whenever I go through anything bad, I'm like, oh, there's not there God anymore.
Do you think you expect it more? Do you expect bad things to happen?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about it the other day. We were like, we struggle, or at least I struggle. I know you kind of struggle, or you do, with feeling like we can't fully be happy because we're just waiting for the bad thing to happen.
Which is not, that's not a Christian mindset. You know what I mean? It's definitely not a good mindset.
It's definitely not. But like, I'm just constantly waiting for the next event to happen.
I'm really glad you're open about that, because we're gonna go through that this season.
Oh, great.
We're gonna talk about it, and I do believe that, at least for me, I don't know about you, I think for you too, when we do this podcast, when we're actively doing it and we can see other people are doing it, I think it helps. Not only does it help like listeners, because it helps like the community, but it helps us, I think, a lot more. Because at least for me, I've got to read to prepare, and it kind of, right. It's like you were kind of more immersed in that. It's very helpful for us too. So yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, we're going to take a little break here before we get into the closing segment, because we have the return of my favorite segment.
Are you sure? Because you don't even know what it's called.
It's been a year. Maybe more. I don't remember. Okay. It's been a while. I have been calling it wrong all day, but I've got it. It is time for Anna's fun fact of the day. What do you got for me? You're still pulling it up, I can see.
Yeah.
She is scrolling through her phone. You got it?
Yeah.
And go.
My fun fact of the day is this. Experiments in universities have actually been carried out to figure out how many licks it takes to get to the center of the
Tootsie Pop.
Tootsie Pop.
Okay.
Why are you laughing?
Oh, bro, you know what? Are you done?
No.
Keep going. I'll tell you after.
Both with machine and human lickers, because this is important scientific knowledge. The results ranged from 252 licks to 411 licks.
That's a lot of licks.
Yeah,
that is
so
a lot
it's
of
somewhere
licks.
in that range.
That's so funny. That's a good fun fact. Let me tell you why I laughed and why I was waiting for the punchline.
Oh.
I thought it was a joke.
You thought it was a joke? So he's been thinking it's a joke, honest joke of the day for like 2 days.
I have it written on here for some reason, and before I even showed you this, and you corrected me because I put like joke of the day. Oh, we gotta do the joke of the day again.
He was like, "Are you ready for your joke?" And I'm like, "Dude, it's a fun fact. It's always been a fun fact."
And even now, I was waiting for a punchline. My bad.
He's been watching a lot of comedians.
I've been watching so many comedians, so that's why I thought it was a joke. But that was an interesting fun fact.
You're welcome. It ranges from 250 to 411.
250 to 4. That's a big range.
That's a big range.
That's a very big range.
That's how many licks it takes to get to the center of the.
So like, does it depend on the tongue?
I think so, because they use
doing it?
they use machine lickers and then they use human lickers, but like.
Okay, so which one was which?
I have no idea.
It didn't say that?
No.
Would you think the machines are?
I think maybe the machines are less.
Wait, what do you mean machine
more
lickers?
Like even.
It's like robots?
Yeah.
Just licking?
Yeah, just licking.
It's insane.
I think it depends on the tongue. If you have a bigger, flatter tongue, like me, you get more surface area. Michael has a little baby whale tongue.
Okay.
So that's probably near 411.
411, maybe more.
Yeah, maybe more.
Maybe a little bit more.
You're the outlier. Oh, I think the cricket has something to say. He's good.
He's good. Okay, he got nervous.
We got crickets in the house.
Got so many crickets, dude. Yeah, I just heard it chirp too.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for that.
Oh.
Is he back? He is back.
He's in the walls. Okay, keep going.
Okay. I love delusional tired you sometimes. It's really funny.
I'm so tired.
Okay. Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That was beautiful. Great way to kick off on a fun fact today. I'm going to have to change that because I'm going to forget that again.
Yeah, you are.
Back to the show. Okay. So before we wrap this up, we got to talk about what we're going to do to solve it. How can we, now that we know where God is in our lives, what's our goal? What are we trying to get to? And how can we do that? Would you like to go first, or I can go first this time?
You can go first this time. I always go first.
That's true. You do go first a lot. Okay. For me, I think the obvious solution would be to continually give God thanks every day. And I think the podcast is going to help because I'm going to read the Bible a lot more because of it. And kind of just, and I think the biggest thing is discipline. Let's just say that. Yeah, discipline, because it's got to be, it's got to be like brushing your teeth. And that's where I want to get to as far as keeping up, with praying, keeping up with reading the Bible, and keeping up with just talking to God continuously. I want it to be like brushing your teeth. That's the goal that I want to get to. And so I'm going to do that just by, you got to hold me accountable. Audience will hold me accountable. If an episode sucks, maybe be like, hey, did you prepare for this one?
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, so keep me accountable. That's what I want. And that's how I think I'm going to do it.
Don't keep me accountable.
Why?
I'm just kidding. Keep me accountable, but through Michael.
There you go. Oh, yes.
Because I'll get butthurt and I'll cry.
You will cry.
Yeah, so.
Just tell me.
If you have something to say, tell Michael and he'll relay it back.
I know how to tell it to you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but is that your goal as well? Is that why you're saying yeah? Or?
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, I think my goal is to learn more about the Bible. I mean, I think it's fascinating. And I've learned quite a bit, and I do love getting into the nitty-gritty of it. I think I want to learn more from a more, what's the word? Something perspective.
A different perspective.
I wouldn't say different. I want to say clear. Like
I see what you're
from
saying.
a clear perspective. Like
okay, got it.
I don't want to go into it, and I don't know if this is complete deconstructing.
Okay.
But I don't want to go into it like I 100% believe this. I kind of want to go into it like I want to find out.
I would rather you go into it truthfully. Yes, like don't lie to yourself.
Well, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
At
the same time, I got to go into it truthfully as well. It's very important to do that.
Yeah.
And I will say this. I didn't plan to say this, but I'm going to say it.
Say it.
I'm going to say this.
Say it.
That I believe that there is a huge, kind of, there's too much of a stigma from that. I don't believe people are comfortable enough to go in church and say,
I'm not sure about
this. I'm not sure. And then that leads to you trying to fake it. Mm-hmm. That leads to you trying to blend in. And that leads to a very toxic relationship. And it has nothing to do with God. I think it has more to do with the people.
Yeah.
And the perception. And more of like, not trying to be a social outcast. But the thing is, like, what does that even mean? Like, we're all just people trying to figure it out. And I think it's great that you're going to be honest and say you don't really know.
Yeah.
Completely, 100%. And I'm being honest with myself and say I do know 100%. But even with that, my biggest thing is sometimes I don't even want to. And that's hard to admit. That's what
yeah. When you believe it, but like you want to do something else.
Yeah.
And so you're going to say, I don't know about this.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. So we're going to try to work on that. And that leads me to you guys. You have something to do as well.
Eat.
Oh, obviously. Please.
Drink water.
Do that. And then after you've done that, or during the eating and drinking water, define where you are with your walk with Christ, just like we did today. And you can write it down. Just think it to yourself. Pray to God.
Write it in a letter.
You can write it in a letter. You can record yourself and send it to us. And if you do that, and if it's okay with you, we could even play it for the episode. That'd be cool, right?
Yeah.
Because we're all in this together, And that's kind of the message that we wanted to get across today. We're not perfect. We never claim to be perfect. We don't claim to know it all.
I make a lot of mistakes.
She makes a lot of mistakes. And I also make a lot of mistakes. I'm 24 years old. You're 23 years old. What are you talking about? You know? Yeah. Like, what do we know?
Nothing.
Exactly. So if you're on that same kind of level, then, you know, or even if you're, if you're above us in this Christian walk, please.
You say it like that?
Well, I don't know.
If you're above us.
Because I was like, that's actually kind of sick. We could use that.
Sick.
And we want you on the podcast. If you have some kind of wisdom.
You have to come on here, though, and you have to tell us your deepest, darkest secret.
You have to. You absolutely have to.
Yeah.
That's a must, or we will kick you off and shame you. But even if you're not that, you can still get something out of this. You know what I mean? And also, I don't know. What am I trying to say?
Let us know.
Let us know what's up, and maybe we'll actually have you on, because that's something I definitely want to do, is get other perspectives from other people. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
All walks of life are welcomed.
Different paths.
Yes.
In God.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's our first episode back, guys. Give us a break.
I'm so tired.
We'll get used to it. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. I think that's a good place to end it there, man. I think we have a lot to do, and we have a lot to do on this road, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this season. Any last words before we sign off?
I'm good, thank you.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, mukbang coming soon.
Oh, dude, we gotta do that again. That was so much fun.
That's my episode.
Yes, that's the time. That's the only time you get to direct an episode.
Yeah. Oh, and listen to my other podcast.
When it comes out.
Listen to my other podcast called Between the Covers, where I force my husband to listen to a book that I love.
Don't look for it right now. It's not out. It's not out yet.
Look for it right now.
It's not out. You're not gonna find it.
Well,
but keep an eye out for it. Is what.
And then listen to it.
And then listen.
And then read the book.
And then read the book that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, if that's it, thank you guys for listening. Thanks for dealing with us. Thank you for dealing. Oh, the pie is ready.
Oh,
just in time.
Dinner's ready.
Dinner's ready. We're going to eat. Hope you have a great dinner. Hope you have a great afternoon, morning, or night, whatever time you are listening to this. And next week, we have something very special. We're going to be talking about our marriage and marriage in general. So, thank you again for listening, and we will see you next time on Worship
Warrior.
Warrior.
Don't steal our name.